Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with breaking news. Before I continue, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. But let's get into the breaking news. Antonio Brown has officially been traded. Well, not official, but they agreed on principle. Antonio Brown, AB, whatever you call him, he's an Oakland Raider. He got traded to the Oakland Raiders. Steelers are going to be getting a 3rd and 5th round pick in the 2019 draft and returns to this year's upcoming draft in, I think, late April or something. Also, the Raiders will be paying Antonio Brown as he's going to be getting a new deal and will become the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. So basically, I'm just going to talk about why Antonio Brown went out. Talk about the teams that are interested and how we got to where we are today, and then my reaction. So, this all started in Week 17. I believe the Steelers are playing the Bengals in Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown didn't play because he got in a hissy fit. And we all know Antonio Brown has a strong personality. I'm fine with strong personalities. I mean, some people think I have a strong personality, like some of my friends. So, basically, he threw a hissy fit. Him and Big Ben never really clicked, and a lot of people in Pittsburgh, I don't think, like Big Ben that much. The quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you didn't know who that was, even though if you don't know who that is, I don't know what's wrong with you, but they didn't really click, Antonio Brown and Big Ben. So what happened was that Antonio Brown demanded a trade. He said he wanted out of Pittsburgh. So at first, Pittsburgh didn't really want to trade him, but then they realized they had no option because Antonio Brown was making it loud and clear, being annoying, running his mouth, calling out the owner, Art Rooney, and Art Rooney basically said we're trading him. So with the Pittsburgh Steelers already in dysfunction with the whole Le'Veon Bell situation, they had this on top. So they had to find a trade suitor. At first, they were requesting a first-round pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers would do it for a first-round pick because Amari Cooper, the Cowboys, they traded a first-round pick to the Oakland Raiders. So basically, please ignore that on the screen. But anyways, Antonio Brown, they wanted a first-round pick for Antonio Brown. Obviously, most NFL experts said there's no way in hell they're getting a first-round pick the way Antonio Brown is causing a big distraction. He's viewed as a team discretion. I still say that wrong, but roll with it. Anyway, Antonio Brown, keep on running his mouth and all. And then what happened was that the Steelers and the Bills came close to agreeing on a deal. Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, those are the two guys I look at for NFL news. He came out, I think, a bit early with the Bills, saying that Antonio Brown was going to the Bills, because then the trade went absolutely dead because Antonio Brown said there's no way in hell he's playing for the Bills. So what happened was that Antonio Brown then decided to run his mouth, say he's not playing for the Bills, and then the Bills owner said, you know what, we don't want him on our team either, so they didn't trade for him. So that happened on Thursday. On Friday, they said a deal was going to be in place by Friday. It didn't happen. Well, now it's on the East Coast. It's Sunday at about 1 a.m. Clocks are about to go forward, so it's going to be 3 a.m. in 54 minutes because on my phone it says 1:06 a.m. Antonio Brown got traded to the Oakland Raiders for a 3rd and 5th round pick. He's a seven-time Pro Bowler. He's going to be going to the Oakland Raiders. He's going to be age 31 by the time the season starts. My reaction to this. Does this help out the Oakland Raiders? Kind of. Not really. Pittsburgh, by the way, they're going to be getting a 3rd and 5th round pick. That means they're going to be getting a possible starter and then a hit-or-miss guy. And what I mean by that is the way I view draft picks are that first and second rounders are starters. third and fourth rounders are usually backups or borderline starters. Fifth round is kind of hit or miss, and sixth and seventh round are usually backups or guys that are on journeyman or practice squad guys for the most part, typically. So that's what they're going to be getting, a borderline starter or a backup or a hit or miss guy. Now, Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers should have got at least a second-round pick for Antonio Brown, but he kept on running his mouth, Antonio Brown, because he didn't want Pittsburgh to get much back for him. And I don't blame players for saying, like, I don't want the team to get anything back from me. Why should the team get something back if I don't feel like playing there? I don't blame him for that, but the way he did it was so obnoxious that it was pissing me off. Now, the Oakland Raiders, they went, I think, 4-12 last year in Gruden's first year. Antonio Brown, I don't know what the Raiders want to do at quarterback. Derek Carr could be on the chopping block. I don't know. His teammates don't respect him. Derek Carr is not that good of a quarterback. I know Big Ben is in decline, but Big Ben's a better quarterback than Derek Carr. I would take Big Ben over Derek Carr any day of the week. So Antonio Brown's getting the worst quarterback. The Oakland Raiders are also stupid for making him the highest paid wide receiver. Any team that traded for him, once I heard that Antonio Brown wanted $20 million a year over 4 years, which is a 4-year, $80 million deal with the most money guaranteed possible to make him the highest paid wide receiver. At that point, I was like, any team that traded for him at that point were idiots. And the Oakland Raiders, of course, they're the sucker, and they traded for him. Other teams that were interested in Antonio Brown were including the Washington Redskins, my Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, Green Bay Packers, the Bills, the Jets, Patriots. I heard them. I heard the Dolphins. I also heard and I think I heard Seattle maybe in there. I think I've heard Detroit possibly. So a lot of teams were interested, but once they heard that, a lot of teams backed off. And it sounded like the Oakland Raiders were the only ones that were willing to make the trade, or maybe the Buffalo Bills. Give the Bills credit for backing out. The Raiders, I don't know what the hell you're doing trading for Antonio Brown. Steelers should have just cut him, honestly. Once he said that, because I am stunned that the Steelers even got a 3rd-round pick for him after he said that. Antonio Brown, he's going to be in decline. This is a terrible trade for the Oakland Raiders. I hope this comes back to bite him in the ass. Basically, the Raiders, he's going to help. Instead of 4-12, they might be 5-11. Who cares? That's not good enough to even make the playoffs or contend for the playoffs, rather. So I don't know what you're doing if you're the Oakland Raiders. You have one more year in Oakland, and then you're moving to Las Vegas. I know they probably at least want to be competitive or contend for the playoffs once they move to Las Vegas. I do not see that happening with this trade. I think Antonio Brown, he's going to run his mouth too much. Hopefully John Gruden can shut him up. I highly doubt that. So we'll see what happens. I think Antonio Brown and John Gruden are just going to butt heads. Two strong personalities right there. They're just going to butt heads, especially for a quarterback that no one respects on that team. So this is a bad trade for the Oakland Raiders. Not that good for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They should have at least gotten a second from the Raiders. They didn't. Shame on them. But the Raiders, they're going to have a lot of first-round draft picks. I think they have 3 first-rounders this upcoming year. One from Chicago. 2 of them are going to be late, though, from the Cowboys and the Bears. And then they have their own. So they'll get hopefully 3 quality starters in the draft. We'll see what happens. Pittsburgh will probably maybe get a starter out of this, but this is not a good trade for the Oakland Raiders. It really isn't. I cannot believe any team would agree to make a trade and then pay Antonio Brown to make him the highest paid wide receiver. I mean, granted, he kind of does deserve the highest paid wide receiver, but I'm happy my Titans didn't follow through with this trade because it's a cap killer, and he's just going to be released by the Raiders in 2 years. Book that, or 3 years maybe. I don't know. I don't like the trade on either end, really. I think this is a bad trade all around. And hopefully for these two teams, the Steelers and the Raiders, it'll work out perfectly for both of them. But right now, I think that it's a lose-lose for both teams. So that's my reaction. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about this trade. If you're a Steelers, Raiders, or just an NFL fan in general. One other quick note. Go check out TJ Sports. Me and him did a collab on who would we rather take, Kyle Murray or Dwayne Haskins. I'll put that link in the description. And also, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. That will also be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Again, please like and subscribe, as I said earlier. Thanks for watching again. And this is McD the Beast signing off.